Lake Winnibigoshish in north-central Minnesota is known across the Midwest as one of the best walleye lakes anywhere, and it also offers world-class perch action, open water or through the ice. But Craig and his wife Paige own McCarlo's Resort in Winni. Craig knows that in addition to the wonderful walleye and perch fishing in Winni, the northern pike action is simply outstanding, especially in the fall. Craig had been telling me about this pike action for a couple of years. So last fall, Craig took Kyle Waterman and me on an afternoon fishing expedition to catch Winni's pike. We got the boat in the water and headed out. The shoreline was bursting with fall colors. The sun was high and bright and there was no wind. Not good fishing conditions usually. Fortunately, the pike didn't know these were not good fishing conditions.
Grab him.
Not a big guy, but notice the size of the fish in relation to the bait. Not a big fish, but a big bait. Sometimes small fish hitting big baits indicates they're aggressive, and aggressive fish are biters. Here's another one.
Well, he's about the same. Phil guy, boy, he fought like he was big.
They look healthy. And another one. This one's a little bigger.
A little bigger.
How much bigger?
There.
Boy, he's fat, isn't he?
Yeah.
Oh boy, they're eating something good down there.
Yeah, they're healthy. Nice one.
Yeah.
Okay, here's what we're doing. We're trying different things to see what the pike want. Craig is throwing a big crankbait. Kyle and I are throwing bucktails and magnum-sized spinnerbaits. I'm using braided line. Something I started using earlier in the year is this new super cutters from Rig Wrap. These scissors cut braided line so well, and they don't wear out like most tools used for cutting braid. We keep on throwing. Pretty soon this guy came along.
Oh yeah. Oh boy, yeah.
Nice
There's
fish
one.
right there.
Look at that guy.
Nice
Ay,
fish.
ay, ay. Yeah. Man, oh man. That is a nice one.
Now that was a nice pike, and those are the kind that aren't uncommon on Winni at all.
Nice fish.
There he goes.
Another one.
Looks okay.
Not like the last few.
Handle him okay, Craig?
Yeah, I think I'll just reach over and grab him.
Just nice, healthy fish, aren't they?
Yeah, I mean, they're
Just
not
nice and fat.
just big shoulders on them.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Craig explains why the pike are where they are.
Now, you catch them so much better in the fall. They're not even in these areas in the summer, are they?
They will, but like I say, when you're looking for big fish, now is the time.
Yeah, and how come they're up in the, I mean, we're fishing 10 to 12 to 15 feet. How come they're up there?
That's where the bait fish are.
This is the time of year that the whitefish and Cisco spawn, isn't it?
Correct. They'll spawn when the water temp's right around 45 degrees.
Yep.
So as it cools, we see more and more than the bigger fish come in.
Yeah, you know, most fish spawn in the spring, but the Cisco and whitefish are fall spawners.
Yep.
And during the summer, they're out there in that deep water, out in the basin and that sort of thing. This time of the year, they come shallow. Oh, you know, 8 to 10, wherever where there's sand.
Yep.
And these big predators just follow them.
Yep, that's where they're gonna be.
Yeah.
We caught a couple more, but the action wasn't as fast as Craig thought it should be. He thought we could do better if we switched tactics. What he suggested was maybe a bit unusual, but boy, did it put pike in the boat.
Not huge, but fun to catch.
That's some pretty good fishing so far. When we return, we'll share more pike action. Stay tuned. Hey, if you'd like to be using some of the baits and equipment you see us using on Fishing the Midwest, go to the Fishing the Midwest Facebook page. We'll be selecting a winner in late March. Fishing the Midwest is presented by beautiful Cabotogama Lake, gateway to Voyageurs National Park. Evinrude, introducing the all-new Evinrude E-Tech G2, the outboard of the future. Rig Wrap, the world's best fishing rig storage solution. Ice Castle. You can camp in an ice castle, but you can't fish in a camper.
Fish on!
Come on, get together.
Introducing a revolutionary concept in outboards, a choice. Now with the Evinrude E-Tech G2, you can choose unrivaled performance, superior fuel economy, and the cleanest combustion outboard on the planet. Choose from hundreds of color combinations to perfectly match your boat. And choose 5 years or 500 hours with no dealer scheduled maintenance. Experience the power of choice at ChooseYourEtech.com.
Tangled rigs? Not anymore. Introducing Rig Wrap, the world's best fishing rig storage solution. Rig Wraps are perfect for pre-tying and storing any rig tangle-free. Using Rig Wrap is simple. Just wrap, close, and store. With Rig Wrap, this tangled waste of time and money is history. Used with sinker, harness, single or multi-hook rigs, even pre-rigged flies. Rig Wraps are great for pre-rig lures and lure leaders. Yep, even those pesky sabiki rigs. Rig Wraps easily store in your tackle box, on your rod, in your pocket, or neatly into a Rig Wrap storage accessory.
This product is amazing. You need a bunch of these in your tackle box.
Best money I've ever spent.
You gotta try them.
With this special offer, you'll get all this for just $19.99. But wait, order now and we'll include our popular lure locker. We'll also include our handy Rig Rack storage accessory free. An over $50 value, all for just $19.99. Want more? Order now and we'll also throw in a free threader tool. So come on, stay tangle free with Rig Wrap. Order now.
What inspires the angler to return to the water's edge are not the countless fish that came before, but the one that lies ahead. Every time you fish, every single cast, every single day. Beautifully crafted multi-species fishing boats, unlike any other, to catch any fish you're after. See more online and at your local FX dealer. Larson FX, where others have yet to go.
Craig knew of an offshore, deeper structure that also had bait fish on it, and he thought with the bright conditions and no wind, that might be a better choice. And he was right.
Whoa, coming up. Look at him back there. And he's fighting. You know, he's just your usual 3-4 pound northern. But you know, in this light tackle, they fight really well. There, thank you.
Fish.
He whacked that thing.
Step out on your foot.
This is fun stuff, and the action is almost continuous. There isn't much time in between fish, and I like it that way.
It feels like a
Boy, you
decent
know,
one.
Just like all the time, when you get out in this deep water and you see them with that finder, they bite.
A nice pike.
That size is fun, isn't it?
Oh yeah.
That's just
especially on this equipment.
You know, we think walleyes and Winni are good to eat. Those other pike are good too.
Those are fantastic. Another chunky guy.
They are.
All right.
Craig, you know, Winni is really known for walleyes and perch, but it's got a tremendous northern pike history. There's a lot of them here. And is this population pretty stable? I mean, we're catching a lot of 3 to 6 pounders with a couple of big ones thrown in. Is the population of northern pike about what it usually is?
Actually, we have some near record year classes.
Is that right?
That's why we're seeing a lot of these 3, 4, 5 pound fish, 6 pound fish. But yeah, Winnie's probably one of the top northern lakes in Minnesota. It's incredible.
So lots of 3 to 6s now. That means in a couple of years,
Oh, yeah.
big things.
Things look good. Things look really good.
Is Winni this flat very often?
No, no, this is a rarity.
But the sun always shines here, right?
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
We're fishing on top of this offshore reef in about 18 feet of water. We can see bait fish a foot off the bottom on the sonar. We're fishing pretty much straight up and down. We've got 3/8 ounce slurp heads with a 5-inch impulse jerk minnow attached to a light leader to prevent bite-offs. We're keeping our baits a couple feet off the bottom. We want the bait up at the fish level. This is so important anytime you're fishing. We're just lifting and dropping the rod tip, and it's working big time.
Sean.
Sean, about what? About 17 feet. Got some size there, Craig?
Feels good.
Yeah, bending that rod over.
Seen him yet? Oh, there he is. Yeah.
Whoa, oh boy.
Bass.
Ay, ay, ay. That's the deal with this light tackle. They're fun, aren't they?
Yeah, there we go.
If you don't have a good time with this, then I don't know.
Another good pike.
Yeah.
I just want to eat the net.
Do you use that plastic a lot?
I do. Yeah, this time of the year, I love it.
Yeah, how come?
Well, everything's just a little more aggressive, and you don't have to monkey around rebaiting and all that.
These pike are fat. They're just eating machines right now, and they're really liking our baits. We're using what most would think of as walleye gear for these pike. Cabela's has a spinning reel called the Verano that is just a really good reel. Let's take a look at it.
Today I'm fishing a slip sinker live bait rig. This might be the most sensitive fishing presentation that I use. Because of that, I need a high-end spinning reel, one that's lightweight and is a very smooth performer. For that reason, I use the Verano series from Cabela's. It's a high-end performer, like I said, but at a price lots of us can afford. It's got 9 ball bearings, so it's super smooth, it's very lightweight, and it also has an ambidextrous handle, so you can switch if you're right-handed or left-handed. Again, a slip sinker live bait rig, very sensitive. You gotta have the right spinning reel. The Verano from Cabela's is my choice. Exclusively available only at Cabela's.
At Cabela's, you get the best selection and advice on fishing, hunting, camping, and clothing. And on Lake Winnibigoshish, you can get some of the best fishing you'll find anywhere.
Look how fat he is. Look how thick he is.
When we come back, we'll share more fishing action. Stay tuned. Fishing the Midwest is presented by Cabela's. It's in your nature. Impulse. Excite the bite with scent, color, and action. Raymarine. Don't just go fishing, go hunting underwater. CrappieCentral.com. Northland Fishing Tackle. Made by fishermen, for fishermen.
Don't just go fishing, go hunting underwater. With Raymarine's superior high-fidelity chirp sonar vision, you'll never look at fishing the same again. You're already the predator above the water. Now go find your prey below it. Raymarine. Visit raymarine.com to get in on the action.
No matter how hard you try, keeping your rigs tangle-free is, well, challenging. Well, not anymore with Rig Wrap. Staying tangle-free has never been easier. Just wrap, close, rinse, and store. Simple, right?
Wow.
No matter the rig, Rig Wrap has a storage solution to keep you tangle-free. From conveniently small to offshore extra large, you'll never worry about tangled rigs ever again. Rig Wrap, the world's best fishing rig storage solution.
I started using Salmo Hornets more and more a few years ago, and in those few years, I'm catching more and more fish. There's just something about a Hornet that makes a walleye or a bass or a panfish or whatever want to eat it. Hornets have a lifetime guarantee, and they're hand-tuned so they run perfect right out of the box. Cabela's has an outstanding selection of Hornets in the best sizes and colors, and the folks at Cabela's can tell you which ones are the hottest. Salmo didn't invent the crankbait, they just perfected it. Insist on Salmo at Cabela's. There he is. Oh, same stuff, just a nice fighter. Look at that guy. You know, and it seems, Craig, like these northerns kind of run in schools.
Oh yeah, they'll school up heavy this time.
We think of walleyes as being a schooling fish, but these northerns, man, you get on one and you catch a bunch of them. Not big, but I like it. Yep. I just like it. Kyle, you know, probably the most universal way to catch a fish, all species of fish, is with a jig. And so much of the time, you know, we look at a jig and think, you know, a jig's a jig, you know, some lead molded onto a hook. But there is a difference in jigs, isn't there?
Yeah, no, a jig is, it's not just a jig, you know, for certain situations, such as right now we're using big impulse baits, we're gonna need a longer shank hook. You know, we're using a slurp jig head. What that's gonna do, it's gonna allow that hook just to get far enough back where these pike are coming in, they're nipping at it, and you know, you need something to put some oomph on there when you're setting the hook. But then you got your fireball jig, you know, great for the spring and fall time, using smaller bait, you know, fat heads. So, you know, it's just a lot of different things go into a jig head. You need a traditional round-headed jig, what type of situations you're gonna use for that. You know, if you have a more fish style head where it's gonna come to a point to help cut through the water. You know, if you want a bait collar on there to hold your fish on or not. Longer shank hooks, we like to have a bait collar on there. Keep your bait on there a lot better.
Okay, so jigs come in all colors. You know, some of the times we think color makes a difference, sometimes it doesn't make a difference. Is there a most popular color? Is there a best-selling color?
Glow watermelon is our #1 selling and most popular jig color there is.
He's as big as he thinks he is.
Is he?
I haven't seen him yet.
You know, medium action rods. Oh, I almost knocked him off for you, Craig. Medium action rods and what, 6 and 8 pound test line, and he came off at just the right time.
Oh, nice. Yep. Beautiful, beautiful eating fish.
Craig, you are on them now. How color sensitive, how shape sensitive are these fish, do you think?
I don't think really it matters to a northern.
Can you grab him okay?
Yeah, I'll just grab this guy. They're pretty aggressive. They'll hit about anything. I like to use the Vegas jigs too. I like that sparkly, shiny. Northerns would prefer that sometimes, but as far as coloring these swim baits and anything, it really doesn't make too much difference.
Here's some good advice on working a jig plastic combo for deeper water pike.
The way I'm working this swim bait today is I'm just lifting it at about 18 inches, not leaving any slack. Don't let it drop on its own. You drop it back down with no slack. Some days you got to give it the good pop, but today I'm just swimming it along nice and easy. They're just coming up and hitting it.
We're using walleye equipment to catch these pike. 6 foot, 6 inch medium action rods. I'm using a Cabela's Fish Eagle 50 rod. That's a great rod at a nice price. I teamed it with a Cabela's Tournament ZX reel that's spooled with SUNLINE Assassin line. 10 pound test would probably be about the best size to use. The Assassin fluorocarbon is strong and very manageable. It's really good stuff.
What happened, Kyle? Are you snagged?
I'm not snagged.
You're not
It's a fish
snagged?
this time.
All right.
There you go.
Bad.
Yeah. Good job. Nice fish. Absolutely. These are all just nice ones, you know?
Yep.
All right, look at that. Nice ones, then there's the big ones. Look at that. Look how fat he is. Thick he is.
Tell right
Oh,
off.
look at here, we're on him.
There's another one.
Look at that.
And you look like you were good at taking them off the hook there too, Kyle, if you want to do that. And you're right, Craig, they're not showing a real preference as far as color or shape of the impulse. They're just eating.
Yep.
The impulse plastics we're using are doing a great job in the northerns, but they work for pretty much any species of game fish. Mike Frisch has this idea for using impulse plastics.
This is the new Impulse Paddle Shad. Great action coming through the water. It's a multi-species fish catcher. Here it comes. Oh, yeah. There's one. I've got it rigged on a slurp jig. Chunky largemouth bass. That paddle shad, just a great action. Crankbait body, paddle tail, moves a lot of water, multi-species fish catching machine. The other thing, very simple to fish. Today, I'm just casting, letting it settle in, making a long, steady, slow retrieve. Let's go catch another fish.
Impulse paddle shad do an outstanding job for a wide variety of fish, and the pike are sure liking these jerk minnows. Later on, the fish moved off the top of the flat into the deeper water. Look at these clouds of bait fish right at the base of the drop-off, and there's pike right there with them.
I got him. Nice one. Get these all day, Bob. Could do it all day.
Eventually, we ran out of daylight, but what an afternoon in the water. We caught a lot of pike, and that jig impulse presentation was so effective and fun with the lighter tackle. Those pike were fat and thick. Most of them weighed in the 4 to 6 or 7 pound range. The big one went maybe 15 pounds. This pike bite on Winni is something anyone would enjoy, and McCarlo's Resort is the place to stay. Craig can provide lots of fishing advice, and the accommodations are outstanding. Clean cabins that are perfect for a family or a group of anglers. McCarlo's is on a protected area of the lake. They have cabins for open water and ice fishing, just a great place to spend a few days. When we return, we'll be on Winni for a couple of hours the next day. Hey, if you'd like to be using some of the baits and equipment you see us using on Fishing the Midwest, go to the Fishing the Midwest Facebook page. We'll be selecting a winner in late March. Fishing the Midwest is presented by Larson Boats, Larson FX, where others have yet to go. Selmo, insist on Selmo. Offshore Tackle, the leader in trolling technology. Clear Lake Area Chamber of Commerce, stay at the shore and explore North Iowa. SUNLINE, the strength to guarantee your confidence. A boat ride on the water, a concert in the shadow of legends, a day of fishing in one of the premier fisheries in the Midwest. These are just a few of the wonderful attractions Clear Lake has to offer. Nestled in northern Iowa, Clear Lake is known for its beautiful scenic landscapes, top-rated beaches, and yearly events. From the annual Winter Dance Party to the blockbuster 4th of July celebration, Clear Lake has something for everyone. Stay at the shore and explore.
Okay, so you've got 2 kids with a shared total of 17 birthdays, 12 trips to the zoo, 128 visits from Grandma and Grandpa, 204 T-ball games, and though a picture's worth 1,000 words, how many can you hold in your own 2 hands? 0. Why? Because your pictures are being held hostage on your camera or a hard drive or that ubiquitous digital cloud. Well, I've got 3 words for you. Print to preserve. You'll be glad you did. LifeTouch, photography for a lifetime.
Lake Kabetogama in Voyageurs National Park is your year-round destination for experiencing nature at its finest. Enjoy the solitude of the pristine wilderness while having all the comforts of home available at the many full-service resorts. The fishing is world-class. So are all the other outdoor activities that are abundant in all the seasons. Cab is the perfect place for your family or group of friends, and Cab is an easy drive from anywhere in the Midwest. Kabetogama Lake in northern Minnesota. Discover Cab now.
Look at that, yeah, good there. Impulse soft baits have dominated our bass fishing for years.
And they're a big part of our panfish and walleye fishing. When the fish are aggressive, soft baits are the best choice, producing awesome fish-attracting action.
And you can catch several fish on one bait.
That means more time spent catching and less time rebaiting.
Northland's Impulse, a step above other soft baits with their secret scent that triggers fish to bite and hold on longer.
Meaning we feel more bites and set more hooks.
We stress quality, we stress affordability.
When people walk in, they say they look like a cabin on wheels.
Made in the Midwest, for people in the Midwest.
The next day, we only had a couple of hours to fish, and Kyle couldn't be with us. The conditions had changed. The weather was no longer bright and calm. It was overcast and windy. We tied on crankbaits to see if we could troll up some pike. We tried trolling some calmer water areas, but the fish weren't there. We moved out into the wind and hadn't trolled far when this guy took the bait.
What is it?
Nice walleye.
Yeah, right there.
I guess that is a nice fish.
Yep, Nope, not overly big for a northern, but you know, for a walleye, that's okay, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a dandy.
Jeepers.
Not a pike, but not too bad a deal. We got our crankbaits back in the water and I got bit.
It's getting close, Craig. What is that? Look at there.
Another one.
Look at there.
Another one. There we go. Beauty.
Beauty.
Okay.
Very nice.
Good fish, Bob.
Yeah, I like that. I like that. Lots of them up here like that?
Yep.
It looks like it's going to be a walleye day. Wind and walleyes go together. We're using a couple of different crankbaits. Craig's using the Salmo Sting. It's a thinner profile crankbait. I'm using the Salmo Perch. It has a larger profile. Both are outstanding crankbaits for walleyes and pike. The color selection is outstanding. They run true, and the fish really like them.
Craig, you know, year-round crankbaits are a great way to cover water. Do you fish them year-round?
Usually after the water warms up a little bit, mid-June on is good, then fish them right till the ice comes on.
And is there anything different you do in the fall than you do the rest of the year as far as crankbaits?
Not really. We just work the flats and we work suspended fish with them. They're a lot easier to catch that way.
Keep the bait up above the bottom?
Yeah.
How far off the bottom?
A lot of our flats are 12 to 14 feet deep, so we're running baits that'll go down just 6-8 feet. They don't need to go all the way down.
The water's clear, they'll move, the fish will move to take the bait.
They'll come right up to it, yeah.
Yeah. How fast are you trolling?
Generally try to run about 2.5 miles an hour.
And that's the same summer, fall, all year?
Yep.
Is it?
Yep.
Here's the area we're fishing. 10 or 12 feet deep. The key is the bait fish. Look at the bait fish clouds, and those are probably walleyes around them. Yep, they are. Fish on.
Oh, it's another walleye.
There he comes. Oh, look at that. Yep. Look at that guy.
Oh, yeah. Fun stuff.
And that's something. Wow. Nice one. He probably likes trilbies better than crankbaits.
Probably, but we fooled this one.
Yeah, look at that guy. Nice, fat.
Yeah.
Jeepers.
Beautiful.
Oh, beautiful.
Let's see what Craig has on.
Craig, these fish all seem to be on one end of the bar. Is that unusual?
No, this bar here will run over a mile, so they could be along here anywhere.
And that's kind of the downwind side of the bar.
Another one of those walleyes.
Boy, oh boy. Look at that guy. Oh, the bait came out.
Yeah, it did.
Watch your hand. I'm holding that side. The sun is just perfect for you right there.
Yeah, that one.
Look at that one.
Guy could stand catching those all day.
Oh boy. You prefer to troll with the wind or into the waves?
I prefer to troll into the waves. Get a little more boat control. You know, when you're going with the waves, it's like you don't have that full tension all the time. It just seems to be more effective going into the waves.
Oh, it would have been fun to stay and catch those walleyes all day, but I needed to hit the road. And as I hit the road, I was already planning my next trip to Winni. Will it be for spring walleyes, autumn pike, or winter perch? I don't know. I don't care. I'm just looking forward to coming back. Winni is a wonderful body of water that offers so many fishing opportunities for big fish, eating-sized fish, and lots of fish. If Winni looks good to you, learn more about it by visiting the McCarlos Resort website. Be nice to one another. We'll see you again next time.